This is an open meeting of the Berlin Historical Commission. It's October 10th at 10:12 approximately. And we are subject to being videoed and recorded. And present today, Ellie
Here?
and Lucy,
Yeah.
Barry Ager, and June Miller. All accounted for, mostly. I don't know about the brain part, but
It sounds like you're all stuffed up.
yeah, well, it's better. I mean, I don't have that
The fog.
oppressed feeling, but I'm tired, I think, maybe from yesterday. Although I did go to bed at 8 o'clock to try to make up for it, but perhaps it didn't make up for it. Yeah, I know,
But you need to.
it's a lot, but it's good. I mean, at least you feel like
You're
it's all
accomplishing
worth
something?
it, yeah. So our prior minutes for September 12, I just noticed a couple of things. Has everybody had a chance to read Ellie's minutes?
I don't think I've read them.
I read through them, but I wasn't there, so I really can't add.
That's right, okay. I think,
Nice job, by the way, Ellen.
we went to the highway barn in July, I think. And I told you otherwise at the last meeting, and so I tried to,
I thought you said that you had changed it to August. That you had
Maybe
sent
I
an
said-
email saying, or a text saying, I made a mistake, it was August.
okay, well,
Because that's where, in July, I would have been able to go, but August I wouldn't have. So I thought it was August.
And you couldn't go.
so which,
I couldn't go.
okay, so perhaps,
But we can check that.
yeah, I'm not, let's see, how can we can check it by going to My Town Government.
You've got the minutes. You wrote them, a little thing on it.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if we should bother to worry about it now, but I can.
Well, I would suggest that we could leave that to be fixed,
Yeah.
if it needs it.
But,
Approve it with the idea that that date will be checked.
all right, so we'll,
So the Bullard House was, okay, that was 9/7. But you're thinking that the highway was 9?
I'm thinking that highway.
7/8/19?
Highway was in July, because we met on the 8th, and we didn't go to the highway barn on a Saturday.
Oh, you were on vacation maybe, Ellie.
I think the reason you might not have gone in July was that you, well,
You can,
well, Barry's right, we should,
Yeah, let's look at it
we
later.
should definitely, work with these minutes and, amend and approve, but not worry about the site visit,
We'll make sure that that date is corrected if it needs it.
yeah.
okay.
Okay, so number 2, we just voted to pay Lynn, that's fine. And then, in order to move her payments along, we voted to just have Barry and me sign off on her bills, because it's taking forever for her to get paid. It has to go CPA, Kristen, and then June, and June has, that's
But we have to approve it before we can send it to CPA.
Yeah,
yeah,
So it's like a 4-step.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's longer.
but since the two of us are there on the days that she's there and all of that,
Yes.
and if we agree on
So
it, then it,
what did you want changed?
Nothing,
Oh,
Nothing.
no, that's good. And number 4 is fine, that's, that Jane hasn't been able to help us with any project management.
yeah. But she wanted to include us in her grant proposal.
That's right, there was a federal grant, opportunity, and I sent her pictures of the Bullard House, which she needed for that. The Energy Committee, it's a committee for some reason, I don't know what the
That's
difference
correct.
is.
It is committee.
Energy committee
Committee.
rather than commission.
Yep. And that's fine. Otherwise. Now, and number 6 is fine, although they've since changed it.
They've since changed it.
Yeah, I saw that, but
Yeah.
from
This was
our
correct.
last
We
meeting,
leave
that's
that
when
the
they
way
That
said
was
it
it.
is.
correct as the
Yep,
minutes.
yep. And number 7, I'm not sure we should say, we should do the last sentence there. Remaining items will be discarded because we have some protocol to observe in anything that was accessioned and
No, because
de-accessioned.
there's nothing left there that's successioned.
All right, so
There's nothing that's left there.
So
that's
maybe we should
successioned.
note that then, just to cover the protocol.
I think it's fine what it says.
Remaining items will be discarded.
Yeah, that,
Just put down remaining unaccessioned items to be discarded.
Yeah, if we could just put unaccessioned,
It just makes it clear for the rest of the world and
yeah, because
makes us all happy.
well, I don't need, yeah, exactly, makes everyone happy, yeah. So if we could just add that one word, that would be fine. And everything else is fine.
Good work.
You know, we tried to,
Yeah.
we've asked some people to be, we did go forward, on number 9, we did go forward with,
senior work
asking for Catherine Waugh to be a work-off. And I think yesterday, perhaps the final paperwork
went
was
through on it.
filed. So, she's been volunteering anyway,
Yeah, she has, hasn't she?
yeah, you know, very faithfully.
Hopefully that'll come through.
Yeah, so, that should be effective soon, because she's done all the
Yeah.
papers.
So can
Move
I
to
ask,
approve the minutes with the items noted that
second,
Okay, all those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimously approved with amendments.
Can I ask you who you asked about the, to be on the commission?
Yeah, I asked, they both did, refused, but
Just-
Jack Malahy, do you know Jack?
No.
Jack Malahy and Paula Frechette own Barnes Hill Gardens on Barnes Hill Road.
Your
and-
Lavager place?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Jack, I know Jack from Hudson, from living in Hudson.
Uh-huh.
He had been on the Historic District Commission when they put together the Silas Felton Historic District.
Okay.
So he has a lot of interest, but he doesn't want to make that commitment to us.
Yeah.
But I think Jack would help us once in a while if we had some little project that he was up for. you
Yeah.
know. And the other person was
Stefan?
John Stefan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I've asked a couple of people myself. I think I mentioned it to you earlier. I talked to Kyle Tucker, and he voiced some interest in that. And I'm going to talk to James Holyoke also, because I've heard he's got some really good ideas and stuff, and he knows a lot about buildings and what needs to be done.
Yeah,
'Cause
in his
whenever-
business.
Yeah, so he I'll be in touch with him. I called him yesterday, but he's not available until maybe Monday. So if anyone wants to be part of that
He does have a
discussion.
preservation interest.
He really does.
Not in the same light that we do, but he, certainly in terms of, historic structures and stuff, he's interested in
Sympathetic.
seeing things
Yeah.
kept.
Very much so, and I mentioned that, he did say that he was very interested.
Good.
So it would be nice to get, and it's good to get new blood, and
Oh, we need, yeah,
Oh,
we need more
definitely.
help, yeah.
And have we thought about having associate members?
Well,
Another-
I wrote to Kristen and Dee at the time of Janet's not, she didn't want to be reappointed. And I said, could we keep her as some kind of an associate member? And they never got back to me on that.
The Conservation Commission has associate members.
We need to look back at the
There's nothing.
law and the documents
Yeah.
and
There's nothing in there that I could see
Yeah.
that would allow us to do that. However, as an independent commission, we could certainly make a resolution, I would think, for us as a body.
I think that might be a one way to get around, because a lot of people don't have the time to commit to all of our meetings, and it might mean that we have to change times too, but anyways.
Yeah. Have an extra one.
I think it would be nice to have some people who are affiliated with us in different ways, because we do need good new ideas.
well, the big
fresh
thing is
blood.
if you have a couple of associate members, those are people that you have right off are possible to fill vacancies when they occur.
Very
Well-
good point.
And they're already
Good
at least
point.
somewhat involved, so
Yeah, we do need,
that's a good thing.
I mean, do we have to ask permission for associate members?
well,
There, you might know that.
it's not in our,
The status is,
Okay.
I don't see any reason that we can't do it ourselves.
That's
If
right, as a
there's no-
body.
If there's no official way to do it, then there's no reason we can't do it ourselves.
I think we could make
We can make a policy. to-
Yeah.
And do it that way, and make the rules on it ourselves, because that's the case. They're not gonna vote,
No.
and, but they can attend, and they can help with projects, and,
advise.
yeah,
And,
that's right. But to an extent, the whole Historical Society has been that for a long time, but not so actively so in recent times.
All right, well, why don't we draft a couple of sentences for the next meeting,
I'll do that.
okay, and
Trying to
then
keep-
we'll just vote officially. If we need to tweak your wording, we'll do that next time.
Well, I fully expect that it might need to be tweaked,
Well, whatever, I'm just
that's fine.
saying that if you initiate it, then we'll refine it if we have to
There we go. Okay.
and finish it. Okay. Good. These are okay. Now, I didn't make a lot of copies, but I just wanted to spell out what we've spent for our clothing project so far. Here, maybe we can share. I gave one to Ellie.
Oh, okay. That's not,
We've paid Lynn Bassett
Yeah.
for 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and that totaled
3,600.
$3,600. We were allocated originally $11,250, but we had to reduce it in order to make it come under $10,000.
I wondered about that.
Yeah. So I have a question for CPA that I'll give to, we can tell Ellie, and she can refer it to the committee and to Tim, the chair. And that is, our original allocation was 13,500, and that provided for 25 of Lynn's days, consulting days, and we reduced it to 22 in order to come under the 10, because
But we wouldn't have to have more complicated
that's right,
business in terms of hiring, that we could hire her
Yeah.
right.
without
Without-
more extensive advertising the job thing.
I
And
So-
believe me, it is fascinating to see
Yeah.
that, I mean,
Watching
sometimes
her
you
just
think,
look at something and feel it, and she knows
yeah,
how it was made, when it was made, what it was made of.
But that comes up from having worked with a lot of stuff over a long
It's
period of
just
time.
amazing.
Yeah, experience is the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the waist is 3 inches higher, that means it was 10 years earlier. Or whatever, you know.
You have got a lot of notes to do, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there,
It's like, this is a book, you're making a book.
yeah, we already,
It's already 2.
yeah, we have 2 binders, one for the first 2 months. And then we've started a 3rd binder, which is almost full.
So, okay.
And those are, hand, I could never do that on the computer. I
Type
don't
it.
have the keyboarding skills to, I'm not,
I can do something, I
Fast.
can do that.
well.
I mean, it might be slow, but I can do that, you know? I
Yeah,
mean,
well, I don't think we can be I don't think we can go any more slowly than our scribes are doing right now. I've been helped by Jillian Alexander, who's a volunteer for the Quilt Museum, and then also Laura Buskey.
Oh,
When
good.
she was there, she did it for a little while,
And Brenna did a few.
and Brenna did a few, and they all, you just, if you can't remember what she said, then just ask her to repeat it.
Yeah.
But you want it typed out is what I'm,
No, it needs to go into the past perfect. If someone does that, if someone is gonna,
Well-
transcribe it digitally, then it should just go into past perfect. I
can
think.
Past Perfect take PDF files? Or, because you can text, you can write, you can do a text format or PDF format and upload it in there. You might be able to do that.
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it's a job to do, sitting there at the computer and put it in.
Well, the thing is that I've organized those inventory sheets by which date they were.
Yeah, let's talk about that later,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. And so there will be a reorganization
Yeah.
before anything digitally needs to be done.
Yeah.
And we have to figure that out too. Yeah.
Well, we actually have written this stuff in a couple of cases
Anyway,
already.
yeah.
Yeah,
We've started to. And because there's a lot of items have been entered in the computer before, we're gonna have to go back and revise the data on it in the
Yeah.
descriptions. And then secondly, we have other things that have not been entered previously. And so we've started entering them, some of them, a few of them.
would you be able to just check on the, on the instructions on how that Past Perfect can be used? Because most of these things you should be able to do,
Yeah.
do a text
Yeah.
and then just upload it, which
See,
is
we're
much
not
easier.
online though,
But you,
Lucy.
well, it doesn't matter if
It
you're not
doesn't matter
online.
if you gave us a
A
drive.
drive,
Yeah, okay.
and that would be,
Yeah.
it could be uploaded. And not necessarily, I mean, you'd still have to do a lot of input,
Yeah.
but you'd still be able to,
Yeah. I'm
at least a
thinking,
I
text.
don't know.
I'm
don't know.
thinking that at some point, that information should be compiled as that's a huge document, but it should live as an independent document too.
Yeah,
And
it could be.
and that can be just downloaded
Well,
from,
it's, the backup system does that. If that's all working, we still have to get that.
you
to
can
work.
sort for that.
Yeah,
You could sort for the clothing inventory.
So-
but normally when you're closing the file, anytime you've worked on it, you're closing the file, you do backups.
Yeah.
And you can do backups onto a separate thing, you can do.
Another drive,
Yeah.
Another
yeah.
drive,
Yeah,
sure.
You can do
sure.
different things so that,
Do we want to put that
So-
down as something we can talk about later, or do we want to continue?
Yeah, well, let us get through the hard part,
Good
or the initial,
So if you can find out whether or not, I'm sure that we could upload text documents into Past
past
Perfect.
perfect.
That should be something that you're capable of doing.
I can
And
call-
I
we
can
have
actually,
the
I
book
can actually.
on the old file, but there's no book for the new one.
No,
Okay, well, you know what, I can check it online because they
Yes,
have,
you can look up online.
so let me look it up for you. Take
Hey.
that off your list, you've got enough to do.
Yeah, and they're good about,
Yeah.
returning a call, cause
Okay.
I had to call them a few times in order to order this new version anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so the other thing on the
Oh, but
financial,
to go back, so
Yeah.
I need to ask about returning that $13.50?
yeah, I just wanna know if they would allow us to use that for more
Supplies.
supplies. Obviously, we can't use it for Lynn in this round. But do we have to return it? Or can we use it? I guess the only other alternative would be to use it for supplies, and that would be fine. I
Because,
mean, those things are so expensive.
yeah,
The boxes and the paper,
Yeah,
I bet.
yeah, if you could ask for us,
So the 13.5 was the reduction in the amount that we were gonna pay Lynn.
that's right.
yeah, 'cause it
And-
says originally 11,250.
But the approved amount by the town included that.
That's right.
Okay, so that's how we can use that 13.5. Because it was appropriated, but it can't be used for
For
Lynn.
her, right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the
Okay.
selling point, Ellie, is that
I think our next meeting is
in November, probably,
end of November,
yeah.
third week in November.
Thanksgiving week.
Okay. We also discussed the fact that we've done close to 200 at this point.
Wow.
Items.
Well,
And there's a few of them that are small items, but most of them are dresses, larger items. And
When I was there, she went through that box of pieces.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Louise.
fascinating,
Louise's
yeah.
stuff, yeah.
yeah, that was,
And I pulled that out because we had the Fiber Girls there. The group that is
That week meets at 19
Is-
Carter.
the Fiber Arts Group from
weaving
19
and
Carter.
weaving and dyeing and so forth. And I thought it would be good for them, and they did. They had a lovely time with it. But that was stuff that we got from, Mim and I got from Louise down in Brookline. And it was samples of this and that and so forth. And it was, I have found some of the notes that we had at the time, and which adds only slightly to what was discussed there. But that was, that was kind of a fun item. And yesterday we brought in a couple of quilt tops that she went over and did things with, which is something that we haven't, I mean, it's not the major part of the project, but it's worth having her thoughts
While
on it.
she's there, yeah.
Yeah, and
It's one of
also,
her areas of expertise.
yeah, Jillian, who was the scribe
Yeah.
at that point, is a volunteer, a regular volunteer at the New England Quilt Museum, and so she had a lot of input for those two quilt tops, which was, serendipitous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like to throw in a couple of, something like that now and then, because it's a little bit of fun, and it's something that gets their juices flowing a little bit more for the whole thing.
yeah. The other thing on the financial report is the donations account. We used that to help us buy our printer. So,
By the printer, yeah.
yeah, we used the remainder of our budget for fiscal year '25, and then $273.97 from the donations account. So our donations account balance is $515.11. And those are the changes from our long report that we have at the end of June,
And that's another place we could buy materials from if we had to.
right?
That
We're
makes sense.
sort of out of order here, but,
Would that be
It-
different than any other time we meet?
no, no, you're right,
Stream of thought,
yeah.
stream of
Well,
consciousness rather.
when we should move on to the Bullard House now, but I do need to ask, do we need more boxes right now, or more tissue right now? more boxes or tissue right now
You mean for the
for the clothing.
clothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got one or two there, but, they could be gone in minutes. And we have a lot of things that are not in boxes now. You recall, we had one box that we decided to offload all the stuff that was in that, and so that one's already repurposed with some others that we had.
Well, do we need to vote to, we could use our, well, there's a few things. We can use our budget. We can use our contingency money, I think, unless we have to ask permission for that.
Was contingency money in the
CPA
grant,
funding.
CPA grant. And,
That's right.
we thought we could use that or some of that for some more boxes.
Yeah, I was,
Did it specifically say that it had to be for,
no, it's not, I didn't define it at all. I just called it a contingency amount. And in my mind, I had hoped we could use some of it to have a little public meeting or something, to
Advertise what we were doing.
yeah, I mean, that's part of CPA is the benefit to the
Oh, yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, just,
Having people know. I mean, a lot of the projects are so visible,
yeah.
like buying,
And ours, you,
Carter House Hill land. or
unless I
something
invite somebody or they ask me if they, then,
that you can't see it, yeah.
yeah, it's in the building.
Well, it has occurred to me that in just going through all this stuff, and some of it's things I haven't seen before too, we need to have another big program anyway. And time-wise, it's 10 years since the last one. And it makes great sense to me that having all of this information and a lot more dating on items, that we could come up with a plan for another big exhibit.
Yeah, it would be more, there'd be more scholarship attached to it
Yes.
than just,
Then they have
Then-
people.
Oh, isn't it pretty, yeah.
yeah, than just
Yeah.
fashion and,
And there are many items that we've gone through and dealt with that have not been in previous shows.
well, if
And-
you've already done 200 pieces, I'm sure there's a
Yeah,
truckload of them
Yeah,
probably.
and
that
I
haven't
mean,
been
we've
done.
been
It'd be
through the
great.
stuff that's been in the shows,
Yeah.
because that's one of the ways that I kind of organized this to start with, is go through things that we knew better. And, but we've also done a lot of stuff that's never been in a show, and we have plenty more.
So
that
when do you
we-
wanna do it?
That's the case. Now, a lot of it's
Can't even
twentieth century,
imagine it.
but that doesn't mean that there isn't room for some other possibilities.
20th century, some of that's gonna be 100 years old.
Well, that's correct. Already is.
we need to get through the project before we
Yeah.
understand the real strengths of the collection and how
That's
we
right.
could organize a good program that would, respond to,
And again, it's only gonna be
Assessment.
part of it, because some other time we'll do another one with,
yeah.
with more of it.
But we need volunteers, and that's a whole,
So I have a
Program.
But you had
suggestion.
we are developing volunteers through the project.
well, yeah.
We've got 2-3 people that have been working with this because we've been going along, and that's very different, because it's a long time since we've had that many involved in anything like this.
So
Wow,
let me
we've
bring up something that I've
3
discovered,
people.
is that you can, through the town website, you can have people sign up for news of specific departments, and you could have, like if you wanted to, kind of remind the people in the Historical Society that they can sign up for anything that the commission, any new information that the commission puts out, regardless of what it is. I mean, it could be, like we want people to come to, if a demolition thing, if you send out that information, it could be mailed to them, and they would be notified. So that's something to think about, is to get people on the Historical
We
Society.
should put that in the annual report.
Yeah, and actually, I think the annual report, but also, we've got the list of people who are members of the society. We just kind of email them saying,
Mhm.
would you sign up for this to be notified when the commission has, important things to do,
Mhm.
to address. That's something, I don't mind working on that. That's two things, so I don't mind doing that. Because I think that's important. That's one way to get our message out there.
Okay, we need to go through our heating and cooling review. Do you want me to put it up on our computer, on my laptop? Did you bring a copy, anybody?
I couldn't find it, I went looking, I couldn't find it.
Is this what
wait,
you're talking
well-
about?
I thought we were talking about,
No.
funding, to buy more archival supplies. Is that, where are we going with that?
Oh, that's right. Can
You're-
we,
You're cold.
I
It's
just
you're
don't, I'm
cold.
just not sure where to
Where to
take the
take the
money
money.
from without knowing if we could use that $900, or the 13.5 actually. I'd like to use the 13.5 for it,
But we don't know whether we can.
but we don't know. So,
Well, we can buy some now.
With other funds.
with our budget, maybe we should just do it with our budget.
With our budget or with, the contingency is
the
gonna be okay
donation?
too.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we should save that for programming, maybe.
The donations,
No, the contingency, maybe for programming and.
after the project is
Yeah,
done.
I mean, if we can, maybe we won't be able to, but
But it would be nice to do that.
yeah, it would.
Um,
So we need a vote
so
to
what do we have in our budget?
$615.
Well, how much money do you need? The last time you spent,
We've spent almost the 1,400.
yeah,
If you buy, do you think we could, if you buy the boxes, if you buy 10 boxes, you get quite a reduction. They're about $50 a piece,
so it'll be $500.
so it would be $500. And we need more sheets, individual tissue sheets that are unbuffered tissue.
No,
We don't need that.
no, we're still on the first roll and we got a second roll.
What about the sheets? We have
I'm-
some sheets.
We have some sheets, I'm not worried about that. You can use it, you can cut the roll and use it too.
All right, so,
But you need boxes.
yeah, we need
We
boxes.
need boxes.
What, I move that we order 10 archival costume boxes from, and using the budget funding. Cause we have to, that's right, we have to put them somewhere
Yeah,
when we get them.
I mean, that's one of the big things about them, is they take up space,
Yeah.
whether they're filled or not.
Well-
But that's all right, we can that's not a big problem. We can put them in Memorial Hall for the present.
Okay,
Second the motion then.
All right.
so up to, let's put it this, if I can find a discount for for fewer than 10, I suppose, but it's more paperwork and more, it's better just to order the 10 because we do need them.
How many?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many do you think you will need overall?
Oh, boy, I don't know.
Well, we don't know, and we're trying to find our way, but we need to have a few empties there, because we have a lot of things on hangers hanging around the place that we've got to, work on, and we don't have boxes for any of that
And
stuff.
she doesn't like hangers. She doesn't like
Well,
hangers.
no,
No,
she
she
actually
does,
does like
actually.
hangers better than I do, so.
But she understands that we don't have,
The space to.
we don't
hang
have the facility to accommodate the hanging. No, there's a complex system of interior supports to important dresses that, I mean, she's done at North Historic Northampton, but we can't accommodate
Yeah,
the hanging, so.
we don't have the
The
space to do that.
planned closet in the Bullet House could be done to take hanging stuff. But right now, we've got hanging stuff that's all crunched
Smashed
together.
together,
And
yeah.
one of the things, if they're gonna be on hangers, they need space between them.
Yeah,
And so it isn't just a little space, it's a lot of space.
it's big.
Um,
Okay, so the motion is to order up to 10 archival costume boxes from, funded by the budget. And if I can get a discount on 5, I could just get,
Well, maybe.
but up to 10 anyway.
Yeah, let's try to get 10, and let's also have the backup that we could use a little of our donations account, if need be. I'd like to include that in the places we get the money from, because I don't wanna get the budget to the point where there's nothing to do. Things that might be required at some point in the course of the year, but it's still early in the year. If it were April, I'd be happy to spend it all, but at this point, I'm a little concerned.
Okay, so it's
Also-
reading that we're going to buy up to 10 archival boxes, funded
Funded,
by the budget and using donations, the
And the
donations
donations
account
account,
as
yeah.
needed.
yes, as needed is good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also, there are some I don't wanna get more, we really need to move on. I just want you to know there are some conservation opportunities, and if we were allowed to keep that 13.5, that might, be an avenue for funding that, cause it's very expensive. But this is an important part of our collection, and if we wanna be, we want.
well, and I think it's something that interests people a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is.
There's enthusiasm for
Yeah.
it, and that's,
Much more than a bunch of books or something.
Yeah, that's right.
We have items which, there are items that, we can wash, we can clean, we can brush off, whatever. But there are items that really require professional conservative.
And they're worth it. I mean, she's identified them as being worthy.
Worthy of
Yeah,
Worthy of.
spending
Yeah.
some money.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
So
So-
that would be another possibility for the use of the 1,300
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
some of the contingency money.
So in the meanwhile, while all of this is being done and, is there any plan on where to store them?
Well, they have to be in the curatorial building. They have to be,
And there's enough room there? Okay.
no, we don't have adequate space. I mean, that's an admission that we've made before and
Yeah.
told the select board. So we will have to deal with that as,
But what you're saying is that even though we're getting rid of things, because we're storing things in boxes, it's taking up more space.
well, in some respects, although, in our first, sessions, we actually got rid of non-archival boxes and replaced them.
With archival boxes.
Yeah, and we used, our initial 10 boxes were
Most of the 10.
used up by that.
I think 8 of them went to that.
Yeah,
So we haven't created the need for new space yet.
because we're just reusing the
Yeah.
space that we had, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but,
But for instance, we've just got the stuff that we have, that came from the Wheeler family, that we had
yeah,
not previously stored. It's been waiting to come to us, but we hadn't taken it because we hadn't any place to put it. And now we've got those three big boxes, and we're still working on the place to put it.
okay,
We need to vote on it.
yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes, so the motion is, go ahead, Ally.
To buy up to 10 archival boxes to be funded by the budget and with using donations from using money from the donations account as needed.
Okay, and
Would you add the word garment into the archival
Archival
garment boxes?
garment
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it was seconded before, but, yeah, but
Yes, it
Lucy,
was.
Lucy
Yeah.
can second it again.
Seconded.
And, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimously approved. Good. So, we need to review the information that Tim and Omid gave us from the Energy Committee. I asked, one of our first question was to have a little bit of a rationale for keeping the oil furnace.
Is this what you're talking
Yep,
about?
yep, that's the one.
Okay.
Does
And
anybody
they
want?
basically said, yeah, it's a good idea.
Yep, yep. Yeah, is there any question about their response to
No,
that?
I thought that it was pretty clear. They did
Yeah.
a good job.
Yep. And it does include the double walled tank, and it does include getting that furnace up off the dirt floor.
Yeah.
If it's not found to be in good condition, then
Then we have to think again, but
yeah.
they thought that it was adequate and
I mean,
useful.
and it does work. I mean, it worked 2 years ago, so. Maybe, I don't know if this is the right time, but do you want to heat the building this winter?
With all of those empty,
Well, it's not good to keep a building unheated.
it's true, but,
I'm not advocating one way or the other, I'm just
Yeah.
putting it out there.
Well, I wanna use it if we hate it. I wanna put some stuff in it or whatever else, because it's just, it's nuts to have that thing sitting there empty and we don't have room enough for our boxes.
But we're gonna have to move them out again when we have work done.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, but
I'd like
But
to
the
think it'd be
building-
sooner rather than later.
I don't wanna fill it all up with stuff. But if we had one room with some stuff in it, it wouldn't bother me. I just,
well, we can wait until we meet in November if you wanna think about it, in terms of heating.
I will say that there are places that I've already seen the paint suffering from being cold last winter.
well, it doesn't help it at all, that's for sure. It does not help it at all, that's for
No, the
sure.
paint, I mean, you suddenly have a place welling up and paint's cracked and it's gonna have to be at least touched up because of that, that kind of damage
This
that
is in the
happens from
entrance
being
room?
cold.
In the entrance
In
room?
the parlor,
Oh, in the parlor.
right in the fireplace mantle in the parlor.
Well, do you wanna vote now?
Well, I don't know, I mean, it's also a considerable expense to the town when we're
How
not,
much does it cost
able
to
to
heat
use
it
the
for
space.
50 degrees for the winter? I mean,
well, that's
last year
all
we
it's
did.
been anyway.
Well, it's,
That's
Oh,
all
yeah,
it's-
but how much?
There
is
are
it
so
gonna
many
cost?
holes
it's
in
a
there.
sieve, so
It is, there's so
Yeah.
many gaps.
Yeah, but we're not talking about 70 degrees.
Oh, no,
no,
We're
50.
talking about 50.
50, yeah.
Heat it to 50,
It would be running most of the time in the winter.
yeah.
I mean, if you think about that, there's so many, the air is going out,
Yeah.
I'm not ready to decide it now.
Okay, we'll
No.
have to wait until November.
can we,
But let's talk some more about it.
Okay.
And, I mean, outside and
yeah,
be thinking about it so we're in a position to make a decision.
Number 2 is the indoor appearance, and this is a very important. This is one HVAC unit in the rear of the building for the first floor, and cassette units
in the annex.
in the, no, cassette
Upstairs.
units
Upstairs,
upstairs
but
on the
on
second floor.
The wall-mounted unit on the first floor, where would that be?
Well, that's not defined, it just says the rear of the building.
The only places that I could imagine having it would be in the gallery or in the annex. But, because that would be the least intrusive.
Well,
Well-
the annex would be fine, except how you're gonna get the heat from there all through the house.
Well, I questioned whether one HVAC unit was enough. We can comment on that. We can say we need 2 units.
Did they think that because it's a small area, that one would be adequate? The problem is that there's a lot of rooms. It's a small area, but it's all chopped up.
I mean, there's no way that heat is gonna get into that very
It
front,
should be in the middle of the house, not off on one end of it,
but isn't it generally
If you're
off
gonna
the
have it-
wall?
spread.
Do they usually, isn't it attached to an outside wall?
Yeah.
So,
So it would have to be in the kitchen or the annex.
Yeah, it does have to be to an outside
Or the
wall.
entrance.
It has to be on an outside wall?
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's true.
yeah. I've never seen it on an inside wall.
Yeah, it would have to be because of the
Well,
Condenser thing.
we need more information about that anyway.
well,
How do you spread the heat through the building?
Cause the parlor and then and then the parlor on the east side, I guess I'm calling it the parlor, I don't know what it is. But the two front rooms would never get any heat from that, from something in the annex.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Alright, so-
definitely in agreement with that.
so we,
But even in the gallery, there wouldn't be that much.
well, the gallery,
That would,
there's no outside wall except where the window is.
Yep.
I guess you could put it above, there might be enough space to put it
No,
above
it's
the
nothing
window.
above it,
There's
but
nothing.
you could put it beside it.
it could be a smaller one. They don't have to be these, there are smaller units. They don't have to be all these, like
The
this.
giant ones,
No,
yeah,
they
like
don't.
at 19 Carnegie.
Those are some of the things.
Well, the one we've got in the curatorial building isn't that big, isn't so big.
No, it's not. Yeah.
So we are
At the same time, the gallery.
we are
Losing
recommending
wall
2
space in the
units.
gallery is,
Exactly.
it defeats its purpose.
Well,
2 units on the first floor.
It's a location TBD.
TBD.
Hmm?
Location TBD. Locations,
Yeah.
plural, TBD.
Yeah.
The outdoor appearance, we asked for them to be put at the rear, to be placed at the rear of the
Yeah,
building, and
That's no problem.
Yeah, they said that was fine.
it said a single outdoor condenser should be able to serve multiple indoor units, so it is not 1-to-1.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming that covers not only the cassette units, but the actual mini splits.
Yeah.
All right, so so are we good with that? Yeah. Number 4 is the temperature, and that's, I think we were all in agreement last time. We went through that last time. And
That's fine.
the humidity control, he's reminding us that the heat pumps act as a dehumidifier.
Which is good in the summer, but it might be dry in the winter.
In winter, the warm air they circulate has a drying effect, much like a furnace.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you just modulate for that. Many modern systems also include a dry mode. All right, so perhaps we could star that. And that would remove excess humidity.
So
Well,
can I just go back to this? I'm just reading this here.
Which one?
Sorry, it's the one, the very last line. The RFP also specifies replacing the existing tank with a double-walled unit.
That's right.
So we have a fairly brand-new tank in there. How is that going to come out? We don't have an exit way
We
to take
discussed
it
that
out.
at the last meeting, and that was our, 2 of us advocated for that. and Barry was sort of neutral. But it's the efficiency of your oil use, but it's also the safety.
So you don't have a leak. If you
Yeah.
have a leak, then you have
It's-
a toxic waste problem.
Ellie has a double wall tank, and her
In the back of the house, yeah.
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 So it's safety and efficiency that guided us on that.
Okay. I'm not seeing any costs on this, which should.
Well, the double wall tank,
That's up to the contractors.
No, the overall, but
That's not their responsibility, I don't think, right?
No.
before we actually make a decision, should we take that into consideration, the cost of what this is and how this is going to affect?
What we asked them to do was to give
And,
us,
and I'm not saying
Yeah.
that they should do that. I think that we probably should, I don't know, somewhere along the line, we need to have some kind of a budget to work with. But
well,
anyway,
you
so
have
let-
to be
let-
concerned about what costs are, and you don't necessarily have to do it all in the same bucket.
Yeah,
For instance, the oil tank is a new one that we put in, whatever it is now,
It's-
12 years ago.
yeah,
And it's not old and decrepit and afraid it's gonna fail any day soon.
yeah.
So that's something that could be a project to do later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think originally we thought that we were gonna have to take it out anyway to do the foundation repairs.
Yeah, it's at least got to be moved in order to do the foundation
Yeah.
repairs.
And we weren't gonna put it back. We were going to put
I think-
But now we are gonna put it back.
Well, or not, because if we replace it with a double wall,
the
we're not gonna
furnace
put it back.
apparently is at least considered operational,
Mm-hmm.
but we've
Yeah.
Anyways.
mitigated the terms for the tank and the,
I'm also not convinced that the furnace has to be elevated. If we get the repair done that we're now trying to do, the furnace won't
it's
have
already
the problem.
rusting.
Huh?
I-
I know, but that's, elevating it is to get it so it won't get wet. And if we do away with the water getting in there, then it won't get wet.
Well, I have two things to say here. One is, if we keep narrowing instead of expanding, at least realistically, not extravagantly, but realistically, based on our experience and what people are trying to help us with, I think that's I don't think that's a good way to go forward. Let's put it that way. The other thing I want to say is, what we asked them to do was to recommend the system.
Yeah.
We didn't ask for an RFP, but they
No.
did put it in this format for us so that
We could get an RFP designed out of that,
that's right. And this is,
which I think is
worth-
very helpful.
I mean,
You know what, let's go on and go through this.
so I just want to put those two things out
Yeah.
there so that you have a context to examine
Yeah.
these points.
We're a long ways off from doing this because as
We
we've all.
don't have the building sealed, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the last
Exactly.
part that he said.
That's the part that we need before we even,
Right.
this is good information. It's good information.
Well,
I
this
think
is
we need
more than good. This is worth a lot of money, what they did.
Well,
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You know, and, well, that's what I'm saying, is that this is what we need to work with. We're not ready to move on it yet, though.
That's right, that's
Okay.
right. But we need to consider all these things and to get back to them. The next one, unless you wanna back up some more, is the ventilation. We decided that we didn't wanna go for a fresh air system, that was beyond our expectations. Number 7, excuse me, the furnace will be kept operational, but the ducting is not used, because we had questions whether the ducting that we had in place for the furnace would be a problem for what's needed to have the electrical system. And they say that it's not a problem, that one doesn't interfere with the other. Now this, number 8, we said that our, what do you call it? Our little heater for the water in the kitchen and the bathroom could be plumbed when other plumbing was done.
The on-demand hot water heater,
That's
that's the
right.
only way to go. I have a
So,
Renai, I'll tell you, I swear by it.
so it's not clear to me, they're just saying here that they've included the hot water unit in the RFP, but I don't know,
I think it makes more sense to include it with the plumbing rather than with this.
well, is that, I mean, should we take this literally, or do you think they just are making a statement that that's how we're gonna heat our hot water?
I thought they were making a
No,
statement.
they
but-
said it's included in the RFP. They've put it in there.
All right, so,
It doesn't have to be in there. It could be part of an RFP that has to do with
The
plumbing.
Which is,
And I thought
believe-
that's what we talked about last time,
We
is that
did.
we'd do it, yeah.
we did,
That we'd do it with plumbing rather than with the, as
right.
part of this,
Heating.
all right, so we need to make a point of that.
yeah.
So number 9, each floor will have a separate
Control,
control.
that makes sense.
And we did
Yes.
that, we decided that last time.
Yeah.
The efficiency and incentives. I think that's, what do you call it? I can't think of the word, but we need to observe all those.
Yes.
yeah, I
And I
mean,
think that's what we said, that we
Yeah.
didn't want them to be mutually exclusive, we wanted
We
everything.
Yeah.
wanted everything, right? So he's just reminded us here that all these dates in the RFP are just placeholders because he knows the building is not sealed,
yeah.
okay?
I mean, that's just a reminder, because there's nothing we could, it could
Yeah.
change, and in another 2 years, it could change
Now,
completely.
I don't know, I don't think I printed out my response, did I? No,
What's this?
I didn't, did you copy that? My response?
Isn't that it?
No, that's the first response.
The first, oh, then I don't think I
It was
have
my
that.
thank you.
That, oh no, that's not it, is it?
No,
Oh, okay.
I wrote a thank you email, and I just wanted them to realize that we are not, we don't have the help we need in order to go forward with the,
Oh, yeah.
with the, to seal the envelope of the house.
Mhm.
Can you get that and read
I
it to
am
us?
going to
Yeah.
do that as soon as I get my fingers working again. It's cold in
It's
here.
cold in
It's
here,
cold,
yeah.
yeah. I actually turned up the heat this morning, I got up, I thought, it's colder than I want this house to be.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like to heat the house, but I was cold. The cats are cold, they were all snuggled in the bed with me.
Oh, yeah, yeah, our cat was too. It was, she's old and she's so thin now.
Oh.
Yeah, she's,
When did you send that out, June?
I sent it out before I went to Vermont, so it would be Monday.
I have so much junk mail.
Let's see, I went to
I
Vermont
have it, let me see.
on the 30th or the
Revised
20,
agenda.
September has 30 days. Okay, so it would
30
be,
days, half September,
Yeah,
April, June,
June
and
and
November.
November, yeah. so it would be the 29th or the 30th of September.
Okay, I'm getting there. Let's see.
And that's your communication to them?
Yep, thanking them.
So October 1st, updated agenda. I know you're there, June. I know you're there. Did not delete it. Promise.
I might be able to, well, my scent is not good unless I,
Would you look?
I was
Almost
gonna look
there.
at my phone. I should have printed that out. I guess I,
Is there an important reason we have to have?
well, because I want you to understand, I want you to be
I-
reminded of what I said to them.
I do remember you saying that, hello, Omid, okay. I got it. All right, so here, this was the date. September 15th, that's too late,
Yeah,
isn't
no.
it? Here are the Oh, yeah. All right, so that's not it.
Here we go.
Oh, good.
No, that's, yeah. Sent. All right, well, I'll just paraphrase it. It's not worth, what I tried to say to them was, we are struggling with our project management, and that we're not, we don't have the help we need in order to work on our foundation and
The insulation.
and the insulation.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I said. And so I just want to remind everyone that that was kind of like a caveat.
We can't move forward with that until we get some other things fixed.
That's right. And I think I think that Tim understands that anyway, so. So here's the RFP. This was a lot of work for OMID, and for Tim too, because I think he had to.
He was the oversight person.
He was the
yeah.
oversight person. And I think it reads really well. I didn't have I don't think I had any problem with, I did have a few little tiny problems in that the house was not built in 1743. So I think we have to,
I think it needs to be put in there that it was built
Right.
over time,
yeah, over time. So I can,
from dates to dates.
yep. So we would have to just make a note of that for them. The 10 person hours per week, can that stand, do you think?
For what? I don't think I saw this. I might have missed it. I'm not sure why, but
Oh, boy.
what does that mean, 10 persons per week? I don't get that.
At present, the building has no permanent occupants, and anticipated use will be limited to roughly 10 person hours per week. They have to establish a
I
baseline
think
Oh,
that,
okay.
you know, who knows what we're gonna do, but I think that that's fine for right now.
for right now, okay. All right, good. They, in a couple of places, they really do emphasize historic integrity and being very, and actual,
Being careful, yeah.
being careful, yep.
Because I think that we kind of reiterated that to them, that we didn't want things to be obtrusive, we didn't want particularly some of the display rooms to be affected adversely.
Right, especially the ballroom.
Particularly the ballroom and the front parlor.
And they do call that out. The ballroom is called out as not having a cassette unit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So number 2, an HVAC system on the first floor. We really do think we need 2 units. Is that right?
because we think that one unit, wherever they're gonna put it, is not going to
Yeah,
get the whole
distribute
thing.
enough heat.
Yeah.
Unless they can, give us some kind of,
They did.
not necessarily, just do we actually, if they can give us the information that makes it so that we don't require 2 units, and they can,
Well, they did. It's here, but I guess we're questioning it.
That's
Well,
what we were
then-
questioning, that we can't.
Yeah, well, then
adequately
that's-
heat the front
We
of the
can't.
house if we put it in the back.
no, I understand that.
But
But we have to understand why they think only 1 unit is good.
it's right here, the building's energy loss chart. They did all the numbers here. Service Titan's HVAC load calculator, they did all that. That was the hard work for Omid.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the actual work that he,
Mhm.
I think our question from the front, from the first piece, is that how do you get the hot air circulating through the entire
is it,
building?
is it, as-
Downstairs with only 1 unit.
And that's a fan, usually that's some type of fan that cause, for the circulation of
yeah,
that
it's
air,
the thing opens up and
So that means ducting, what type of,
But the way
Quite
the
a bit of
house was
ducting.
built, there's a lot of little rooms.
absolutely.
well, that's a condenser. I mean, that goes outside the wall.
Yeah, and he's saying 1 condenser, but how many units
Yeah.
within the building do you need to make it comfortable?
So we're still questioning that, well, 1 unit, even though they've done
Downstairs.
the numbers they've calculated the load.
But can you get the heat?
Our concern is the distribution,
Yeah.
how it can be, can it be adequately distributed through the
Yeah.
building
Because the load could be one,
from one source?
the load could be one set of, criteria, but getting it from through all the doors, and that's the problem.
All right. Number 3 is pretty obvious here. It's the oil furnace taking up the slack when it's too cold.
Mhm.
That's really their point.
Mhm.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
And number 4 is dehumidification. Hot water heater installation.
And that's the one we think we could come out.
Yeah, it says with the capacity of 4 gallons shall be installed to provide hot water for limited use.
And we just said that should be part of the plumbing rather than part of this.
Is 4 gallons a good capacity?
Is it,
It doesn't, I don't think
Well,
it
that's
really
for hot
matters if
water,
we're gonna
right?
take it out of that.
you just say, it doesn't, yeah, it just says, we wanna take that out of this proposal, and it would be part of a plumbing proposal. We gotta replace the plumbing anyway, so.
Well,
There
it's
may
not
be a
ex-
reason that they want to include it, and I will ask that. And
Yeah, okay.
that may be because of
Mass
They
City.
can get
rebates
funding.
and all of that.
Yeah,
They can get
That
funding
if we do it
separately,
separately,
we can't get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Why not?
that could be,
I
that
don't
could be
know.
exactly
I-
what it's
question.
about.
I would think that that would be part of the rebate program. If they can get it in
If-
there, we should find out, because I honestly believe that if you update that, you do get a rebate.
even if it's part of separate plumbing
Well, it's part of the
proposal.
plumbing, you're updating
Well,
it all.
the installation could be plumbing. and
Yeah.
the Unit could be part of it.
Yeah, you
Acquiring the unit
buy it
could
from
be part
one
of
and
this.
install it at a different time.
All right, so we have a question about,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know, was there another reason why that was included? All right, so the oil tank and furnace improvements, this is the double-walled, code-compliant unit to prevent leaks and environmental hazards. Also, the oil furnace must be elevated on a stable, non-combustible platform above the dirt basement. I mean,
Isn't it on,
it's on the
Cement.
dirt. It's on
is
the
it on the
dirt.
dirt?
And it's rusted
Mhm.
some. I don't know what the extent of it is. It just looks rusty at the
I think it's
bottom.
what the interior looks like
Yeah.
is important
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
what was that?
I'm trying to think about that. I gotta go look,
Yeah.
see whether there's something under it that I don't realize.
For some reason I thought there was.
Well,
but
it's
who knows?
dirt.
You aren't gonna,
If you have
Well,
something on
stones.
dirt, you're gonna,
Let's not discuss it further, it's okay.
the way it
For
is
now.
for now. The
Yeah.
refrigerant piping. So that, it says shall be routed discreetly through existing wall cavities, sized and installed to avoid damage to historic plaster, finishes, or structural members.
No idea what you just said.
Yeah, read that again.
Refrigerant piping.
Oh,
It's sensitive to the installation, the walls. It will be sensitive to our historic features.
well,
That's-
if you go look at the one that we have at the curatorial building,
Yep,
under the condenser outside is wound up conduit, whatever you wanna call it.
you think it's the piping?
Yeah,
Yep,
and they didn't need to use, so they just left it there and it is hitched to the thing. But if you took that and you ran it through the house into another place, that's the kind of thing that they've got to do. And, in order to get to those other units.
Well, the upstairs is easy because there's a lot of holes in the wall.
Yes, oh, yeah.
Downstairs, it's a little bit trickier.
And I honestly don't think it has to be on an outside wall. I think that's not,
Well, I think it has to be on outside walls to lead to the condenser. That's what they told me when I talked to them about putting it in my house.
it's the simple way to do it is to have it on an outside wall.
And that's the only way to do it, is my understanding.
If they can run the thing through the house to get to the thing in remote places, then they can run it to an inside wall rather than an outside wall.
Well, they'd have to run it up through the ceiling then, or down to the cellar.
How do you think they're gonna get it through the to the attic, to the upstairs units? From a condenser out in back of the house?
Up the wall.
well, that's a big question, that's an umbrella question that we have,
yeah.
okay. So, the, number 8 is the electrical integration. All equipment shall connect to the existing 200A electrical panel with dedicated breakers for each unit.
Yeah.
And
I
they
can't
talked
speak
about that when we did the little
Yeah.
tour.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Considerations, you know, we can open windows are recommended for fresh air. Outdoor condensers placed at the rear. Ductwork shall be inspected, cleaned, and repaired as needed. All systems must qualify for mass save rebates and meet Energy Star requirements. Separate temperature controls on each floor. Those are all things like they're reminders in a way.
Yes.
Contractor qualifications. It's just proper licensing and
Well, and
familiarity with historic buildings.
they need to know what they're doing.
Yeah, and there's, I think this is all,
Boilerplate kind of stuff.
yeah,
But the point is, you wanna make sure that they're not a fly-by-night thing that doesn't know anything about what they're doing.
yeah, well, in historic
Or
building.
it's gonna vanish as soon as they install it.
Proposal requirements, those are all things, those are like references for the contractor. Itemized cost proposal including labor, materials, and contingencies, warranty and service maintenance, plan, rebate support, references from at least 3 comparable projects. And number 9, those are criteria for,
Evaluating the proposals
Yeah.
when they come in.
when they come in. And number 10 is the sensitivity to our building, to the fact that wanna protect what we've got. The contractor shall coordinate closely with the town of Berlin's designated project manager throughout the duration of the contract. We don't have one.
We'd like one.
We'd like one. This coordination shall include scheduling, reporting of progress, responding promptly to issues or concerns, and obtaining written approval before making any modifications that could affect the historic character or safety of the building.
This project manager they're speaking of there is
Is
for this
Kristen-
project.
Is Kristen?
It's
No,
not
good Lord, no.
necessarily what you're thinking about for project manager. It's the person who's representing the town as this work is being done. It's like the clerk of the works.
Well, that's not Kristen then.
It's not Kristen.
Of
Is she-
course it's not.
So who would it be?
Well, it doesn't exist yet, that it would be determined. When you do any kind of a contract, somebody is representing the.
Well,
the-
Are we
the owner.
responsible for that? That's what I'm
you know what?
wondering about.
I'm gonna, when I spoke to Wayne Colson, who's doing the work on, he said, I said, well, who's your project manager? And he said, they provide the project manager.
The contractor.
That's what,
No.
well, actually, he said he was the project manager.
But I would think that you
And
want
that's
someone
what I believe-
independent of the contractor.
You want somebody that's working for the town to be the person that is making sure that the town's interests are being conserved, so you do not want somebody
Kristen
that's
said he
working for
was-
the contractor.
That was one of the questions that I asked Kristen, who was the project manager? I asked her
But this
that.
is that's Assabet. That's not like a regular
Oh.
contractor.
Oh, it's different, okay.
But he's still doing work for the town. He's still doing work for the, he's working for the town. You know, and if it's okay to do something, that's a multi-million-dollar thing up there. And we're looking at what, 300,000, not even, hopefully not that much.
$500,000 at the most, maybe, I don't know.
You know, it's just, if they can use it for that, I don't see why they can't use it for this, but that's,
Because if you're
Well, then
hiring a
he-
contractor, you don't want the contractor
well, isn't
being the one
Assabet,
that decides whether the contractor's doing a good job.
isn't Assabet a contractor?
Hmm?
Isn't Assabet a contractor?
They're different, I guess.
Obviously, it's a different situation when you've got the school that your town is part of.
So how do we know that they're doing such a good job? You
Well,
know,
that's a good question. Somebody else ought to be looking at it too.
I would assume that,
But the building inspector could
that's,
help with that too.
that's what I'm presuming. This isn't a multi-million-dollar project. I mean, I understand they need someone to kind of guide it along and make sure that the work is done properly, but that is part of the building inspectors too. I mean, I question that. I mean, how much more are we gonna spend on a project manager, and is it worth,
Well, I don't know if it's our responsibility. I mean, the town of Berlin is responsible,
well, there we go.
but if we have oversight of the building, that needs to be clarified as to whether we have any responsibility to.
We have to appoint a
communicate.
project manager from our
Yeah,
commission.
so I'm gonna question that, okay?
I would question it, because if it's okay for one group to use it on something that is a large project like that, then we're not talking about,
When they built the current Berlin Memorial School, we had a clerk of the works working for the town. And it seemed like he was doing well and keeping track of things well. And toward the end of the project, he seemed worthless.
Oh,
And the thing that had happened was, when that project was done, he started working for the contractor on other projects.
Oh.
The contractor had already arranged to hire him for other projects in the future. And that meant that he ceased to represent us well, and rather was working for the benefit of the contractor at the end of the job. And that's something that we actually saw happen, and we know about it. And I'm sorry, that's why you need
Independent.
somebody that's representing the town's interests that is not tied up with the contractor.
do you have any idea how long it's gonna take to put that in? It should not take, this should be, once that the, the cellar is taken care of, the basement is taken care of, how long do you think it's gonna take to put in a heating system?
I
It's
don't know.
not gonna take, like the school, how long did the school take? It took a year at least. This is taking a while. It should be done in a very short time, like
It isn't
3
about
months.
time, it's about whether it's done right. Did they buy the
Very.
right material, did they install it properly, et cetera? That's what the project manager's job is to make sure they're doing the job the way it's supposed to be done and to the town's interest. And you gotta have them
I
working for the
can't
town,
imagine.
not for the contractor.
I think you need to find out a little bit more if a project manager is actually required to install
I'm
a
just
system.
gonna ask whose responsibility it is to designate
It
the
would be
project
nice if
manager.
someone from the energy committee would say, we'll do it.
Oh, yeah, well, we just,
Exactly.
Because they have the
I would-
expertise to
They
know
have more of the
whether they're
knowledge that's
doing
needed.
it right or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, I could volunteer, but I know nothing.
okay, I
By the
need,
time the project was done, I might know enough about it, but I don't know
I
it
don't
before it
now.
starts, which means I can't do it.
all right.
Are you using the right gauge wire? I don't know.
We need to know, where the
What they mean
responsibility
there.
lines, okay.
I mean, you've talked to Mike Sawyer. Did he have a project manager to install those, the HVAC in his home? I doubt it.
Yeah, but that's, but
But this
but
is
we're
a
using
public building. This
town
is
money
different.
Yeah.
or grant money. We're not using personal funds.
Yeah.
I understand that, but it's still not this
Well, she's
massive
responding to
project.
the scale of the project and
And-
reminding us that it's
It's small.
limited, yeah.
This is
should-
the basis on which a contract is done to do the job, and it covers all of these bases, and that's what it's supposed to do.
This is, like you said, this is a boilerplate, and they just put this all together, and we're talking about something that's doing like a complete building, or, part of something much larger than this. This is
Well, it's-
so small.
It's still public money, and we have
Yeah.
we have to be very careful. It's not your house, it's not a private concern, it's public.
And it's why
Yeah.
Kristen says you need a project manager, is because she knows she can't do it.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
so therefore, you gotta have somebody that's doing it for the town's interest, as opposed to for the contractor's interest.
Okay, the next one is just the observation of the interior standards and state building codes.
That's kind of a given.
Yep, that's a given. All work shall be conducted during standard business hours, unless, we approve otherwise. And these are the general liability insurance, workers' comp, all those things that
That's a
are.
standard, yeah.
Yep. Okay, the installation of cassette panels in the ballroom ceiling is strictly prohibited. Contractors shall propose alternative locations that do not compromise this space.
Yeah, we were pretty
Yeah.
firm that the ceiling was important to that
Yeah.
room, and we didn't want it damaged.
For the first floor installation, wall-mounted panels shall be located in the rear rooms only in order to maintain historic and aesthetic value. Refrigerant pipe tubing must be appropriately sized and routed in a manner that allows it to be carefully snaked through existing walls without causing damage to the walls, finishes, etc.
That's just what I was talking about, with the things that,
Yeah.
what look like hoses, but aren't real, well, they are really, the refrigerant.
Yeah, pipes. Yeah. At the completion of the project, the contractor shall provide the town of Berlin with manuals.
How to run
Operation.
everything.
Yeah, detailed equipment specifications, warranties, and as-built documentation. In addition, the contractor shall conduct training sessions for designated town staff to ensure that we know how to run it, right? So the timeline is what you would do if you were gonna go forward now, but obviously we're not.
Yeah.
terms and conditions. The town has the right to reject any proposal, et cetera. Submission instructions, it gives them if we were going forward, it gives a time limit. This is building data summary. These are appendices. Appendix A is about the building itself. I don't see any problem except the date of the original date of construction. Then number 2 is the load. I don't know, I have no
She does
idea
all
how
that
they do that.
technical stuff, yeah.
That's, they use the building size and orientation, square footage, the height of the ceilings, the direction of the building, the sun exposure, construction materials, climate, what we're up against, which keeps depreciating, occupancy, ventilation, infiltration, internal heat gains, heat generated by appliances, lighting, and other equipment. That's pretty minimal. And then they talked about the load calculator that they used and what that translated into, which doesn't mean anything to us, I
All
guess,
of which is, much of which is technical information we're
Yeah.
not qualified to
Yeah.
to judge, right?
judge.
That's why we needed them.
Yeah. Okay, then there's some maps. The energy loss chart, and this was the incentives and rebates, at least for now.
I was gonna say, that's the current one. Who
Yeah.
knows what
Current
we'll
ones,
have
yeah,
when we
might change.
actually do it.
As of January 2025. Building plan.
This is the existing condition based on the Mogul. These are elevations based on the Mogul documents.
Did you upload this in the Dropbox?
No,
No, okay.
I think someone else needs to administer the Dropbox. I don't think I just don't get to it. These are photographs of the existing oil furnace. I don't know what this is.
That's
That's-
the oil furnace.
Yeah, but it looks cleaned up. Well, anyway, it's there.
Does it
Or
show,
it
what
may be
it,
a picture of one from someplace else.
does
as
it show the
opposed to
base of
that
the
one.
oil furnace in there? Barry, can you see that?
No.
No?
It would be here,
Yeah.
but it's too small.
Yeah, it is.
These are not Marty's pictures. These are,
Must be their
Oh,
own
it's-
pictures,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if you want me to call out the fact that this says bedroom. I think it's just, they know that it's the room that has to be,
I think you should put ballroom there because
Yeah.
they've referred to ballroom elsewhere,
yeah,
so.
okay. There's the front elevation, the right, the rear elevations,
The left, yeah.
left, and the restroom,
The what?
bathroom.
Oh, the rest.
Bathroom, yep. Oops,
What's that?
this is the first floor kitchenette, right?
Oh, wow.
We wanna call it a kitchenette?
We've kind of called it the work area. I
Well-
don't know
I guess
that
you
wanna-
can.
Yeah.
Service, maybe service area, or,
Well, the use of kitchenette means it's not a full kitchen, and it also means that it is a place where you deal with things like food and stuff. And I think by using that word, it gives a better idea of what the use of the space is gonna be.
is that okay then?
Slash service area, because it's gonna be both.
All right,
That covers everything.
okay. And the ductwork
Given that we have very limited ability to serve food.
And that's
Can I
it.
see that?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to take a quick look at it.
I only printed one because it was long.
Yeah, I can
And
understand.
Sometimes it's not the ink and the paper that drives me, it's the time to,
To
Wait
sit
for it.
there and wait, yeah.
Let's go, yeah,
um, I could put it on a drive, we could print it, if you want copies, I could print it out at the curatorial building probably. But that's another job for me and I'd rather
if
not
you,
take a job. So, I know how to respond, so
Okay.
I will do that soon. Let's see, today's Friday,
it
so
is,
I have a commitment on Monday, but I'll do it soon. I'll try to do it this weekend.
Okay.
do we all have access to upload materials? You know,
Yes, you can edit the Dropbox. Yeah.
okay.
You can what?
Edit the Dropbox. All of you can edit
Oh.
the Dropbox.
If you just email it to us, I'll see if I can upload it.
It is emailed to you.
Then I will have to
You
look
know-
at
It's
my
an att-
email.
It's an attachment to Tim's.
Back.
And
Oh,
comments.
oh,
When-
oh,
when they
oh.
sent the
You just
response
didn't
in
open
June,
your
said, "Thank you
attachment."
very
No, I
much."
did not. Okay, all right, I got it.
I couldn't find that file when I was looking but today. but
Okay.
I'll
If you look-
Look some more.
If you look at Tim's last email to us, it's an
It'll be up there.
attachment to
Okay,
that email.
Oh, I'll try putting him in as my search item and see what I find.
Yeah, that works. Okay, I think that we've done what we can do at this point. And,
And you're gonna send the questions back and comments back.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
We need to move on.
And, yes, we
Yeah.
do. And please look at how I responded and thanked them. Please look at that.
yeah,
Uh,
I looked at that, I didn't catch the attachment.
Well, the
With them
attachment
is
would have
on
been
this
on
one here.
theirs.
Yeah,
The attachment would have been,
I did not catch that.
yeah.
So if you found that, you should be able to find
Yeah,
the
Right.
rest of that.
Well, my email would be another, would be a response to this.
yeah. Well, I'm not sure where it is, but I'll find it.
Okay.
If not, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I can resend it. The second thing is Gibkel, we're wondering what's the problem.
He has not responded, to me. I think that, you know, he might have lost some interest. I'll contact him again. You know, he may very well have lost interest in it. I'll see what I can get, you know.
Yeah, I think, I do like Mickey from meeting him.
Oh, I
And
know,
I do,
yeah.
and
I
when Mike
totally agree.
came here,
Mhm.
I did like his manner too. I mean, you know, in terms of personal,
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
that was good.
but I really, you know, it was very hard to navigate all the documentation. For all of us, well, for you and me and for Kristen, it was a lot of extra back and forth, which really doesn't set well, you know, in terms of trusting their reliability. I don't wanna,
Yeah. Well,
and, you
they,
know,
you know, the other thing too is this is just, they have a very large, I mean, they're a big company. They do a lot of, you know, work. No, I'm not sure how big they are, but they do a lot of very, they do projects for the government. I mean, they're not a you know, rinky dink at all. You know, I mean, a lot of small companies do very large projects.
On the other hand, their failure to get a building permit is a little bit
Well,
scary.
yeah,
that was
That's
an
a very
oversight.
basic thing
That
that
was an
everybody
oversight.
has to do for any roofing job.
You know, that was an oversight.
I guess
I'm
so.
not, you know, exactly sure, but, you know.
it makes us worried a little, that's all.
Yeah, well, you know, if you,
I mean, if they're,
we can get someone else to do this, I mean, you know,
I mean, my thing about it is, they really produced a proposal that was good and that was the sort of thing that
All
we
that
want
work,
done, and it's
yeah.
a hard thing to get anybody to bid on. And the
It
fact that
is.
they did that makes me wanna move ahead.
Okay.
And
Well, let
so
me
I
call- let me
really
give
would
him a
like
call.
to do that, and we thought we were all set to, except for the date, and then we, of course, we had the town,
Yeah,
the
because that
town
would
hall
have been,
thing and so forth, that's fouled us up on the date.
Yeah.
And I know that that may also affect their ability to schedule.
yeah,
In other words, this month may be busier for them than last month was,
yeah.
would have been, or
So-
whatever.
And they did have a busy, I believe that, well, September was extremely
Yeah,
busy.
I thought we
for
had a
them.
September date once for that.
We did, they said mid-September.
Mid-September, but they accepted other jobs.
They
You know,
what?
They accepted other jobs. Of course, we couldn't do anything in mid-September.
Why not?
Yes, we could. It was, the time we couldn't do it was July.
Yeah. The town hall was available August 5th.
As of August first,
Well,
from then on, it was available, and we had a date in September they gave us once, so.
well, when I did speak with them, they were working on a fairly large project at that
Yeah.
time, so that, and, you know,
So, I mean, really, the question is now, can they,
Yeah,
when
can
can they
they do it?
schedule it?
yeah. All right, let me give them a call again, and just
Yeah.
see what's going on.
Do you want me to send an email
To me?
to you to,
No.
well, it doesn't have to be to you, could be to them.
No, I'll do that.
Okay, give it a shot. Let's see if we can't get it to happen.
You know, and something definite. It's got to be a weekend, as you say.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a weekend. That was from what you told me, that was their suggestion.
Well, that makes it. Well, see, what they want to do is that they want to get this done in like a day and a half. I'm sorry, Barry. They want to get this done in
Yeah.
a day or a day and a half. They want it done
Yes.
quickly.
Right,
But if if they have to take time out from their job while people are waiting to finish it,
there shouldn't
Then-
be more than an hour that we need to do what
Okay.
we
Couple
need to
of
do.
hours, yeah.
because you asked for a couple hours, and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they don't want someone just sitting there. They just want,
No.
okay, let's get this done and over on to the next job, is what they're saying. So the suggestion to do it on the weekend was that you could have a whole weekend to look at this stuff and go through it,
Yeah,
and they'd come back
and
on
they'd
a
come
Monday
back
and
and
finish
finish
it.
That's fine.
And
I
that
mean,
would
I
be okay, too.
appreciated that,
You know, and I think, you
but
know,
I didn't demand it or,
no, I know you didn't, but I don't think what they're trying to do is to not have their people
Yes,
waiting.
sitting there waiting for us to, but as I say, the most time that we need is an hour. And overnight, we could do it,
no, you can't do it overnight.
Well-
It's too cold
It gets dark too
and
soon.
it's too dark.
Yeah, see and that was the issue.
I'm
They're
an
trying
old
to give you-
lady, I gotta.
No, you're not.
Well, my answer to that is, we gotta make it work. Whatever they can do, we gotta make it work. If we have to put some lights on it, then we'll put some lights on it,
Yeah.
so we can do it overnight, or whatever.
Well, it depends on how late in the season it is.
Well, let's see what we can come up with, and then we'll work on it from there. You know.
We've already done the historical clothing,
Yeah.
but the project management help, that was something that Lucy wanted to talk to us about with Kyle Tucker, is that right?
Yeah. You know, so I've spoken to him. He's interested, but I don't have any details.
Who's him?
Kyle Tucker. He's from Prestige. Kyle Tucker on Pleasant Street, Prestige. He said that he was willing to work, you know, and take a look at these, you know, the plans. Take a look at it. Take a look at the house. Make recommendations. That, you know, from a, you know, like someone who'd be doing the work, who's familiar with this type of work, and not, you know, who's actually done the work of this kind of work.
You said he was a building inspector in Hudson or something?
He was. I don't think I don't think he has that position anymore. I think he left it. He's working for
Okay.
another company, Teamsters. But he works for he does work for James Holyoke. When James is selling a house, you know, he'll come in, and if any work needs to be done, Kyle's the one that does it. You know, he's done work for me. He's done a very good job. I was very
What
pleased
kind of
with-
work has he done for you?
He's replaced windows. He's replaced. He's done work in the entrance into the cellar.
Okay,
So no,
Yeah.
he knows pretty much He knows this stuff.
So he's interested in making recommendations for how to proceed with the building?
He's interested in looking at it. I asked him if he'd be interested in being on the commission, and he said he would consider it,
Okay.
you know, but I would like to take him through the house again and just go through.
Did he come the other day or no?
No,
No.
he wasn't able to come the other day. And actually, I have two people that I work with, and one is someone who owns a house, it's like, in Templeton. It's a family farm that they've owned for like 6 generations, and he's working on different things. He's familiar with restoring these older houses. He comes from Brookfield now, you know, and that's one of his interests. So if you want, he could come in and take a look at it also.
Brookfield, oh, this is somebody else.
Yeah, someone else.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, this is
Actually, he
interesting.
was
There's potential there.
He was recommended to me, I have to get the roof of my barn redone, and Richard Hanks recommended him to me, so I have a great deal of confidence in his work,
And his recommendation.
in his
Yeah.
recommendation, yeah.
So these, I just want to understand what they would be willing to offer.
They would be willing to look through this paperwork that we don't all understand, you know, and just clarify it for us.
What paperwork? Not the heating and cooling.
Sure, they know this stuff.
Well, it's somebody else to review that, that's all.
You know, I mean, you don't have, they understand it because they do some of it. They do, you know, they definitely do basement restoration and stuff like that. And they have to be aware of what's going on with, you know, with other contractors.
Well, reviewing a lot of paperwork takes time for these people.
But you know what? If they don't mind doing it, I don't mind asking them. You know, I think they would. I mean, Kyle Tucker seems to be interested in it. There's what his name is, I cannot remember his last name. It's an Italian name. His name is Tyler. Anyways, they're willing to look at it. So if there's no problem, I don't see why we wouldn't want them to look at it and to
Yeah,
just look
well,
at
the
it and make recommendations.
I just don't want to have expectations that for such an informal, ask, I guess. I mean,
I'm not sure what you mean by
well,
that.
people taking a look at the building, taking an informal look at our existing conditions and whatever proposals we have. I mean, Gibkel's proposal, what would they think of that? I mean, that's just one small document.
Oh, that little, I wouldn't even have them look at that. That's not, that's, you're right, that's just very small. Kyle, for one, is from the town. He has an interest in this. Okay, for him to express that he has an interest in taking a look at it and might, would consider being on the historical commission, that tells me that he would be someone that would be worth taking the time to look at it.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't want to have unrealistic expectations for these two people, or for Kyle anyway.
Expectations, our expectations
Well,
are theirs.
I mean, are they gonna come to a meeting and tell us how they viewed the work, or
Well, I
just
think-
informal opinions based on a site visit?
Well, those are questions that we can ask. Kyle said that he could come to meetings. He gave me his Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays that are free after 5:00. So those are the things that, tell me that, okay, I'm interested. It's not, I'm not,
So
And
we should,
I would guess that it would also be desired to have an interview with Kristen, so that they could get some understandings of what
What she expects.
what
and
she
needs.
expects, and because that's part of what we need this for, is to give us credibility with her. So that would be another part of it, I think, would be anybody that we can decide we think looks good, have them talk, have an interview with her, or perhaps she'd sit in.
See, I don't think he wants to do the work. He doesn't.
No, this is to handle project management.
Is that,
Yeah, I didn't even bring that up. I just, was asking for his opinion on what would be.
So he's just offering to help with the project, he's not looking to be a project manager or anything?
I never raised that question. I never raised that question
Oh.
with him. That was not a question that I wanted.
so
I
it-
just would, I would like to, I personally would like to talk, I mean, this is, from Omid and Tim Wysocki's point of view, which is very, very informational. But I would also like to find out other people who have worked in this area and know how to.
I don't know that we need more input on the electrical. I think
No.
what we need is to progress so that we can deal with the electrical.
But we have
Okay.
questions ourselves that we don't understand, and that it would
Yeah,
be
but I
nice.
think OMID and the Energy Commission
I don't think we
can
wanna
help us with
second
that.
guess the energy committee.
I'm not gonna second guess this.
I'm not saying the Energy Committee, I'm not referring to that. I'm saying this is valuable information, but we also need to look at the rest of the foundation. How do we go about doing that?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about, like just the overall picture.
We need,
What works?
we need someone who, I mean, if Kyle Tucker wants to come and look at the Bullard House, fine. If he wants to come to a meeting, fine. If he wants to offer his insights, fine.
That's what I'm asking for.
So that's,
That's what I'm asking. I'm not asking him
so
to tell
that's,
us.
he can be invited to a meeting if we can set a meeting time.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not asking him to review everything, but just, okay, look at it from your own perspective, how you would do this, and what makes sense, and to interpret some of this stuff for us, because we don't get it.
Well, we need answers from,
Right.
we need questions and comments from Tim and Omid when they can get to it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
But this is even.
I don't think it's appropriate to give Kyle Tucker, I mean, he can certainly look at this, but to comment on its,
Viability.
viability, I suppose he could offer his opinion. But this,
I
to
don't-
me, the foundation issues are much more important for a person like him.
Well, that's the point.
This is a specialty.
I'm not. Oh my goodness, you're misunderstanding me. What I'm asking him is to take a look at the house. What I would like to have him do is to take a look at the house, because, I mean, you did say you're struggling with this stuff, and
We're
we're
struggling
all
because we need-
struggling.
Yes,
Listen,
but-
we have spent money on
We've spent 28
Mogul
years.
architects, we've spent we've got
Yes.
all this stuff in the Dropbox, there's documents of all kinds of things. I don't need 6 more people looking at the job, we need somebody that can be a project manager for us.
I agree with that.
We need somebody that can be a project
Well-
manager for us. We've got reports from
Well,
Tim
then,
Walheeder, we've got,
well, Hooter, isn't it?
Yeah, well, whatever.
You know, like if
yeah.
you're interested in talking to him about project management, then I'll bring that up. Because if that's what you want, then we can talk. But he still would need to look at the
Oh,
building.
sure.
So instead of, debating whether or not we need to have him look at it or how or what we're expecting from him, let's just say, take a look at this, give us your input. Would you be interested in being a project manager? Or can you recommend someone? And that's what we need, is beyond this. We've got a lot of information, but it's been sitting here for a very, very long time. You're
and
absolutely
you
right.
keep bringing in another personality for another report on stuff we've already had reported on
and
multiple
haven't
times.
worked on them.
Multiple times.
And we haven't worked on them. We haven't progressed with them. They're still
I
sitting
think
there.
we have progressed, but we're
But
stuck
we-
with needing a project manager to help us put it all
Well,
together.
then let's find out about someone who it might be interested in doing this. He's interested in being on the commission. And if he can bring us some valuable information, I think that's important. That's more important to us because we're sitting here, as you said, struggling to try and find out, is this information, are we missing something?
I move to adjourn.
Well,
It's 12 o'clock. I move to adjourn. I've had it.
Well, then maybe you should just,
I too have things that I have
Okay.
commitments this afternoon.
fine, but let's get someone in here who understands it. Barry, we do understand this. I'm
We've
just gonna
had
move on.
10 people in here that have understood the thing, and all you want to do is bring in another one, and I'm not interested in that. It's just nuts.
Barry,
We've
maybe,
got stuff,
you're right. We've had 10 people come in here
And
and
let's
we haven't
have-
done
let's have-
anything on it.
Well-
We're still not making any major progress.
yes, but Barry's point is that
We need to
that another
focus on
person who
finding-
isn't really interested in managing the project isn't gonna solve our struggle. But
If that's what you want, then I'll ask him if he's interested in
That's
being the
fine.
project manager.
if you would please ask Kyle if he has the licensing to do that, or if as a volunteer he wanted to
Help us,
help us,
advise us.
that would be fine. We
Then
need
that's
to.
the point that I'm trying
So
to
I
make.
think that you can.
I know, but maybe the point is that you don't understand what we're trying to say.
I do understand what you're saying.
Go through all the documents, present all
have.
the documents that we've got from all these other people in the past, so that they understand what we've been through.
Barry, I have done that. I am doing that, and that's what I intend to do.
No, you
More
aren't,
so.
because you're talking about getting somebody new in to tour the house, to tell us what to do, and you haven't shown them all the stuff that we've already created in the documentation that we have.
Because I came to this board to see if this was okay. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna ask anybody any questions like this. I will bring people in to look at it, have them look at this stuff, and then present it to them. But
What are you
we've
gonna
got-
have them look at?
Does it matter?
Yes,
They can look at the house. They can look at the papers that we've already had. I just wanted to bring this before this commission to say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Maybe we can get some additional information. Maybe we can get some movement. It's been a long time. We
Well-
need fresh eyes to look at this. We need someone who has got the ability to understand all of this paperwork that we're getting, all of the stuff that we've gotten. We have talked so many different things. We've gotten so many different things from Mogul, which were useless in terms of not all
Actually,
of
that's
them.
not true, because the existing conditions have been used by at least 3 contractors.
Okay, well then let's get some of this done. We just keep talking about getting it done, but we don't get it done.
We don't get it done because we need someone to manage the Bullet House project.
Then if that's what we're doing, then put it out there. Put someone
And
out
you know,
there to
you're
hire
asking
someone.
me. I've put it out there to our civil engineers. They gave a recommendation. I followed the recommendation through. It was extremely expensive, and we said thank you.
Then
I've
other
gone to
sources.
CMRPC.
Okay,
and
so
Jane
this is
Wyrick,
what I'm looking
and she
for
is
is
looking.
sources.
she's-
I am looking for sources other than what you've already done, which has not been successful.
That's
So
right.
let's go look at people who actually do the work, who understand the work that needs to be done, who have possibly the time to dedicate to it. Let's look at that. Let's take a different approach. We keep going down this path and it's not working. So why don't we just look in other directions? And that's what I am introducing here.
I'm fine with having Kyle.
Thank you.
I'm fine with
Thank
having
you.
Kyle visit the house. I'm fine with it, but you really need to point out that
If that's
that
what you're
what our
looking
need
for
is, what
as
our
a
need
project
is.
manager,
Right.
then some of these people might be able to do that job as a project manager or refer someone that actually wants to do that job.
I think that would be the most valuable thing, is to find a project manager.
Then
If you
then
could help
that's
us, that would be great. That'd
then
be
that's
great.
what the point is. Yes, I am bringing someone different. You don't have to be there, but I would like eventually.
You asked me to be there
I
when
did.
when I couldn't. I mean,
Well-
I absolutely cannot do it.
Well,
on a
I can't
Thursday.
help that. I mean, I asked you to be there, but if there's other times when we can get someone to come in there and look at this, and if more than 2, we have to have a meeting, and I would just like to be able to have someone come in, look at this, set up another time when we can meet, the four of us, get together and get this,
Well, it's an
Something-
avenue that we wanna,
then I
Go
don't wanna
forward
sit here
with.
and argue, I don't wanna be told that I don't know what I'm talking about, because I do.
I don't think you do.
I think I do.
I
I'm
don't
not-
think you do.
Listen, Barry, this has been 28 years that this has been sitting here and it's not done. So,
I couldn't agree more that that's an issue.
yes, it
But
is. So
I
let's
also
get it
think
done
that bringing in new
now.
people to start from scratch
They're not
is
starting from
foolishness.
scratch. They're looking at something that we don't understand
I
to bring
think
us a
we need to
clarification.
table this discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
That's
so
why I moved
too.
that we adjourn.
all
I
right, is
second
there
the
any?
motion.
th- Okay.
Motion made and seconded.
I'm just gonna go off on my own and get people interested in working on this and bring them to a meeting.
All those in favor of, adjourning?
Aye.
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 Unanimous